gotta go that way to learn how to win.
Good morning. We're here at Jones Trolling Motor, and Yoder is beating on my Razorbacks. You're hurting my feelings.
Razorbacks just don't know how to win, man.
We're young. Of course, we've been young for 25 years now.
If you want to see a team that can win 3/4, wrap it up in a bow tie and give it back to the opposition in the 4th quarter. They don't know how to win the 4th quarter.
We're going to learn. We're in a rebuilding year since 1987.
You've been in a building year since 87. Hey, the worst thing they did.
Oh my gosh.
The worst thing they didn't do is get Petrino a new girlfriend and a new motorcycle.
Oh my gosh.
That's what they should have
You
done.
heard that hot sports opinion here on Ken Smith Fishing from Michael Yoder.
They don't
If
know
you
how
guys
to
don't
win.
know the story, we had a football coach here. What was Petrino's first name? I want to say Rick.
Rick
It was
Petrino,
Rick.
I think, wasn't it? Bobby.
Bobby, who, well, we're not going to slander anybody on the channel, but he had a motorcycle wreck. And then he left Arkansas, and it was bad. But anyway.
Well, the rest of that crooked money in California bought that whole deal off. Because, dude, you know everything you did was wrong.
All right, so good morning. I don't know if any of that just got published or not. That's probably going to be in a off topic. We are at Jones Trolling Motor this morning, and we have made a decision, we being me. Hold on. It's gotten to the point that I don't turn my 360 imaging on. I just don't turn it on anymore. So, look, the future of bass fishing's LiveScope.
Back to work.
All right, we had an argument. Now we're back. Not about this. So there's my 360. It's gone bye-bye. So what I was going to say is we have established that forward scope. I mean, look, we've been watching it here this morning. Michael, Taylor, the whole team. We've got 2 tournaments going on in Florida right now, and they're live scoping, which has never really been the deal. So I wanted something that a lot of guys are starting to go to, which is to have a Garmin on traditional view and perspective view at the same time. So here's what we're going to do. Well, actually, Taylor, tell us what we're going to do. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we're going to change out and why we're making the changes, because you're actually changing one of the Garmin units as well.
Yes, so we're going to add another Garmin unit because we're doing dual LiveScopes now, but we're going to change this 1242 XSV Touch Plus that we've had on here for a while to the new 1243. That's just the newest, latest, and greatest. So talking apples to apples here, what you're going to gain in this unit, if you have this unit currently, is probably a 20 to 30% better processor, better processing speeds. That's going to relay everything a lot faster back to you, and it's got a better screen type on it, just the material it's built out of and the coatings and that kind of thing. They've got it figured out on these. This is a little more similar to an 8600 series screen, so a lot clearer information than what this is, especially if now we're going to start running some perspective mode now. It's the way you want to go.
So as a reminder, guys, the 8600 is the unit I'm running on the back right now. I also asked you a minute ago, Taylor, about what side. Well, my question was, are you seeing more guys go to a single big back unit than the dual units? And your answer was?
We do see some 16s, on the back, or 15s if you're talking Humminbird. What I see now more than anything is still dual 12s at the console, but seeing a 16 come into play up here for LiveScope, because guys are just wanting to get that screen bigger. It's just, that's the trend now is LiveScope, 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 LiveScope. So bigger screen's always better, and the 8600 series is just hard to beat.
Now, so since we've run out of room to a large degree on the front of my boat, we're also going to change my Humminbird out as well.
Yeah, so since we're going away from 360 and we're going to dual scopes, we're still run 2 12s up here, but it'll be these new 1243s. So what we're going to do is we're going to downsize from this 12 to a 9, and we're going to get it over here out of the way, or over in front of the pedal out of the way. We'll see how it all works out, but that's what we're going to do, just to try to make some more room and to get these scopes up here where it matters.
Perfect. All right, let's tear some stuff up. Just show you all a little progress update. So we've got, it's funny, they're 12 inches, but the newer ones have less edge, I guess, to the screen. So the units actually are a little bit smaller. And now we're gonna mount our Humminbird right over there. And we went down to, what size, a 9?
9.
Is all we're gonna use it for is mapping, and then we'll have 2D on it just in case we ever need 2D, which we don't use. So. All right, so this may or may not work, but originally we had talked about putting that 9 right here. But we think there's space to mount it down there. And what Taylor's gonna do is, he's actually gonna tape it down. And then we're going to lift everything and make sure we don't put anything in a bind, and just make sure it's gonna fit before we start drilling holes in the top of the boat. I think it's gonna work perfect, but if it does, it's gonna be a really slick looking setup from above. All right, so I could not be happier with this. I gotta show y'all this. So I was dreading the thought of having a graph up on the deck. I really like having the graphs where they were. And I was not married to a 12-inch Humminbird just to have a map, because that's all I'm gonna run now. So what we've done is we actually set it down here. You can see it's mounted really low, right? Everything works, so now we can run perspective view, forward view, and my map. Or I've also got that one set up where I could run 2D sonar if I need to, which I won't. But it is just, that is such an unbelievably cool layout. We didn't know if that would fit there, but we set some spacers under it, and it's really, really slick. We're going to show y'all how all this works tomorrow. But that is an amazing, I believe that's custom. That's the first time done that, isn't it?
On this particular model boat, yeah. And you couldn't do that without having one of those DVT Taki mounts on there to be able to scoot it over.
That's a good point. So this mount, what do you call that?
It's called a Taki. That's what the guys call it, because they originally made it for Takahiro when he went to Bass Cat from Ranger.
And so he literally was able to loosen it and slide the whole thing over a little bit to give us, I mean, we only needed what, maybe a quarter, ½ inch of space.
About a ½ inch.
We scooched it over, but you could get a 10 in there, but I don't believe you could. That 9 is a perfect unit to fit in there. And you can see standing, I mean, it's a great view. It's a great little map view. So that is one really cool setup. And then back in here behind it, we got the USB plug we talked about. So I got my USB plug in there as well. So I can run cameras up here and show y'all everything that's going on while we're fishing along. So this is gonna be cool. And we're gonna do some live scoping tomorrow with it. Okay guys, so I had something I wanted to have installed. I want to do some more videos. Actually, as you guys have seen, I've been toying with different angles to shoot. I wanted to be able to mount a camera on the front to shoot forward. I wanted to be able to mount a camera to shoot my LiveScope when I'm looking at it, because although you can record your LiveScope, you can't record 2 of them at the same time. So when I was going to have perspective and traditional at the same time, I want to be able to set a camera above it. So I went and I bought this little dude right here, and we were going to install it at the front of the boat. But Taylor said, well, wait a minute, if you're going to drill a hole, or we don't really need to drill a hole, we got something better. So let me show you what they've come up with. Where is that little piece? So on my Bass Cat, there's a switch here that its sole reason is to turn that panel on and off. So we're going to bypass that, leave the panel on all the time.
And this little guy right here is the same dimensions as a normal rocker switch like it is right there. And Bass Cat put those in there to turn sonar up here on and off and to control that power, as Ken said, to that panel. So what we're going to do is we're just going to piggyback, because there's no sense in just having that switch up here for nothing, just to turn on and off your bow trim and nav light switch, all that. There's no reason for that necessarily, since we're not controlling scope on and off like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this guy in there, and it's a double port USB, a 1 amp and a 2.4 amp right here. So just a hot in the ground, plug and play, and it'll go right in that hole, and you don't have to drill any extra holes. That's just a little tidbit for you Bass Cat owners.
Or for anybody else that's got a rocker switch up there, they want to place one of those in.
Yep.
Because at this point, look, we're all looking, I mean, go to the airport, we're all looking for somewhere to charge something, right? So
That's
it's
right.
nice to have an additional port in there. So just a nice little idea to keep from drilling yet another hole in the top of the boat.
That's right.
Hey guys, just adding to this video, by the way, so the stuff we're stripping off my boat will be a Gen 4 12 and a 360 with an Ultrex mount. if anybody wants to buy some used stuff, just give us a shout and we'll get y'all connected over here at Jones. They've always got some used inventory, but that will be available this week. So both of them in great working condition. Actually, funny, I don't think did I ever pull the cellophane off the front of that Humminbird?
Maybe not. Yeah, you did.
Okay, I pulled the cellophane off of that one. The cellophane's still on the one on the dash. So, so if anybody's interested in those, just give us a shout and I'll get y'all connected.